today's video, we're going to cover how Flexera's SaaS management module helps organizations manage their Adobe Creative Cloud subscriptions. Like we may have touched on previous videos, having multiple discovery methods really matters when it comes to your SaaS environment. This gives depth and breadth of visibility. For today's example on Adobe Creative Cloud, we will need to make sure that the SaaS connector has been correctly configured here. And we will also want to pull in data from the agent and the browser extension over here. The browser extension and agent are really critical because Adobe applications tend to be hybrid. Applications that you might use off your laptop sometimes and sometimes off the browser. To give even more visibility, we might also want to configure the CASB and SSO connector over here. Let's look at how all this data comes together within the platform. Let's come over here back to Home. And if we go to Add Connector, we're going to do a quick check on the Adobe Creative Cloud connector. If you hadn't done so already, come over here, add the connector. If you need help, refer to the documentation link at the top. Input the authentication, org ID, client secret. Create a schedule, hit save when you're ready. And after that, just make sure that the sync is successfully done here. Test the connection and run the import. If all that's done correctly, we can come over here to your subscriptions. And if we look at under the family for Adobe, we'll be able to see all the subscriptions that we have pulled in from that connector. I'm going to click on this here, which is the subscription family view. And you can see we've pulled in 6 different types of subscriptions. We can see subscription assignment. We can see subscription activity, which is an amalgamation of usage activity from the browser extension, the agent, CASB, SSO, and from the portal itself. If we had just used the portal, we will only see assignment, and we might be missing out on activity data over here. Here we can see there's only a small sliver of green, which indicates activity, and a lot of it indicates no activity here. Scrolling down, we can see the subscriptions we have pulled in. We can see how much we purchased, assigned, unassigned, overassigned, utilization, monthly costs, and monthly potential savings. I want to come over here to look at the insights, and this is where we can see a high-level view of all the savings that can be derived from this subscription itself. We can see users who have been given subscriptions that have never been used or not used recently. Clicking on each of these will then zoom into the particular users. We can drop that down and see which subscriptions those users have. We can also see in the instances of subscriptions that have been purchased but not assigned to any user. This is potential overspend that could be used for driving some optimization. Let's come back here to look at the subscriptions again, and let's look at Adobe. Let's look at this one particular subscription here for Acrobat Pro. And to get that full visibility, we want to come back over here to Details and go to Edit. This is where we're going to put in some of the financial data that's going to give you that cost visibility. Metric, activity threshold, billing period, cost per unit, purchase date, start date, and end date. These are going to be really critical for you to track your subscriptions, make sure that you're on time with them, and you evaluate the data before it is time for renewal. Hit save when you're ready. And if you need to, you can always hit refresh and update data at the bottom. Let's look at it from the application perspective. We've typed in Adobe into the vendor field here, and you can see all the different Adobe applications we have pulled in from the different discovery methods. Browser verified, from the SaaS connector, from device agent data. And if we scroll down a little bit more, we're going to see activity from SSO and also from CASB. In terms of application overlap, we can come over here. In this example, let's look at Adobe Sign. We can see what is the running cost for this individual application, total number of subscriptions, subscription types, number of users, unassigned subscriptions. And we come over here, we can also see whether there's a crossover in functionality. So for electronic signatures, we can see there's some crossover with DocuSign. This is a potential overspend. Please use this data to compare against how your users are actually using each subscription, so you can plan which one to renew in the coming year. If we come over here to users, we can see which of the users have been actively using the subscriptions they've been assigned. We can see very low activity here. You want to focus on those that have low activity or no activity. Filter these out. We can also look at last activity date, number of days active, and these are also prime candidates for driving optimization and management of your subscriptions. When it comes to making sure you're on time with your renewals, do remember to include the subscription end date as well as part of the details that we talked about earlier. This will help you to track subscriptions that are going to be expiring, and this could be really critical if you have big name vendors with expensive renewals that you want to be on top of. You can also put in the discovery type here, start date, end date, expiration date. You can also filter out the columns that you need and export the report out for other data visualization if you need to. We hope you found this video helpful when it comes to managing your Adobe Creative Cloud subscriptions, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.